Yo, 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 yo. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you wherever you are. Welcome back to a second episode of What's Buzzin' Cousin with my man over here. It's Mr. Rob G. How you doing, Rob?
What's buzzing, cousin? Welcome back.
Welcome back. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. It's good to be
How's it
back,
feel? You
man.
brought all the snow with you. We got
It's
hit with like
lovely.
30 centimeters, so I'm sure you
Yeah,
got off the plane, grabbed a shovel, and went straight
good
outside.
times, buddy. Good times. And in fact, well, I've been home because I mashed up my back as soon as I got back. So it's been
Yeah,
pretty much a nice week of Cairo visits and lying on the floor and sleeping on the floor and taking all these fun medications. Yay. So
buddy. I'll tell
hopefully
you.
another day
After
or two of that
I might,
nonsense and it's all done.
I might have to borrow some of that because after the second shovel, I was like, "Yo, my back is killing me, man. Like this is
Time to get a
terrible."
snowblower, buddy. That's why I invested in that
Our
snowblower.
driveway's
It's the
not
first
big
thing I
enough for a
bought,
snowblower,
man.
dude. It's not. It's not. Yours is. My driveway's not big enough, man, and we're down to one whip, so just one vehicle. So
Yeah,
I try to
kind of
park
hard.
it like
Yeah.
almost in the middle. So
You
it's
know
like,
what? I think I got a little one of those little electric ones that'll do you solid, man. You got to come by
really, eh?
check it out. Yeah, we got to grab that thing, pull it down, man. It might do the
Okay,
trick for you.
done.
Might
I'll
do the
take it.
trick for you. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I got
Smart,
Dad sitting up there.
smart.
It's been sitting there for a decade now, doing nothing. So
But how was
I'll
it?
just,
How was the in
unless
comparison
he
to the weather
watches
over
this, he
there?
wouldn't even know, right? So that's the thing. I got in shit there too. I get over there and the weather goes all cold there. So all the
It's
people
all
that I
your
met from
fault.
the community,
It's
everything,
all your
they're
fault.
all giving me, oh, you brought this bullshit Canada weather with you. Thanks a
Like
lot. Da,
when
da,
they say it
da.
was
So
cold, like how
yeah, it
cold is
was
cold?
great. Good times. Yeah, exactly. 5 degrees, 7 degrees,
Oh, give
and
me a
they're
break.
yeah,
Give me a
exactly.
break.
And they're like,
If
it's
they
the
had what if
weather,
they had what we had,
man. Oh, like,
they would shut the country down.
oh, easily, 100%, 100%. And it was funny because I went up to my uncle's place in Slough, and that was on after the game, the following like Thursday. I was coming back when we did the
Okay.
stadium tour, and there was frost on the ground. I'm talking like frost,
Okay.
not snow,
Yeah, yeah.
frost, and they're panicking. Oh no, be careful! How are you gonna get to work? This and that. Oh man,
How are you gonna get to work?
it was hilarious, man. I'm at the stadium and I'm talking to the guy at the stadium. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys came down here in this weather." What?
Yeah, yeah, buddy. It's like this is a Canadian summer, bro.
Exactly. That is absolutely it's exactly what it is, man. And
That's amazing.
oh, good times, good times. How you been over here, man? What's been going on over here? Did I miss anything special?
Buddy, no, just, trying to live life, working away. I mean, I can't complain too much. My team's doing pretty well, regardless of the result today. So
Yeah,
big
we'll get
smiles
into
on my
that.
face these days, man. I'm just setting up things around the house. Got to paint the nursery, getting some
Nice.
stuff done. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. But let's jump into it, man. So how? Tell me all
Let's
about
jump
it. How was
into
the
it. Okay,
experience?
well, this is what you wanted to start with right here.
That's
Right?
right.
The three
The
Spurs
three
boys
Spurs
go and
boys.
they invade England.
So how was
And
that?
all I
So
can
first,
say,
start with how
yeah.
long were you gone for?
Okay, so we went separate. So me and Christian, little K, we left on the 9th, landed on the 10th, and then we all flew back together on the 21st. Jay came on the 12th, the evening of the 12th, landed on the 13th.
Gotcha. Yeah, he came
So
after
he
you,
came
right?
through. Yeah, yeah, because he's got his exams and stuff
Exams
that
and
started
stuff.
this
Yeah.
week, right? So
So
he
how
had
was
to,
that? That was his first plane ride on his own, right?
yeah, yeah, completely alone. And he was actually pretty good with it. He was comfortable leaving. He was comfortable when he got there and stuff. I pretty much gave him the simple part of it. Just follow the guy, pick somebody on the plane and ask them if they're landing and staying in England. And they say yes. So make sure they don't got a connection. Follow them. Follow them
Smart.
where they go. Follow them to the baggage carousel. And that's it. You're good to go. If not, there's about
Follow him into the
7 billion
bathroom and be like, no,
people.
no, no,
No,
no.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's not go too far. But even that, go ask one of the 7 billion people working at Heathrow because
Fair.
there's so much staff there
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
And I don't doubt they're going to help a
Buddy,
teenage
it's
kid
not
out,
it's
man.
not like he's
So
going, okay, it's a foreign country technically.
he's going to
But the,
England, no, man.
buddy, they speak English. It's not like you're going to
Exactly. It's
another
not like
country where you're like,
exactly where you can't
what road is
communicate, you
this?
can't read signs. Like,
Yeah. What do they mean by
you know,
left?
yeah.
Like, no, man, it's left.
Yeah, and it was so funny, Robbie, because even when I booked the ticket and everything, I didn't even think about that I'm sending him alone. That wasn't even a second thought. I was, he's 16.
Yeah.
He's bigger than me now, man. He'll be completely fine. He's in Pearson Airport and then Heathrow Airport. Like, like you said, he's not going to some airport that I got to be worried about him passing through customs and then pulling him
Right.
off to the side and doing bad things to him or whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So it
Or
was it
he's
was
got
fine.
no like, got to go rent a car, got to go here and
Not
drive
yeah,
this place.
nothing.
That
Yeah.
yeah.
You got dropped off at the airport, you get picked up
Someone
at the
picks you up.
airport.
Yeah.
It's so simple, right? But it was funny how many people even there when I got there were shocked that he was flying over alone. You know,
Really,
because
eh?
he's 16, he's 16. So you still consider that, right? You think about his age and you think he's just a child, right? Which
Buddy,
in
my
reality he
folks
is, right? So
sent me on my own at 14.
dude, if it
Summer I
was
was
up to
doing
our
nothing.
folks, they would have got rid of us at 4.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true. But
you know,
and
even
again, and I
younger
was just
maybe.
kind of like, yeah, okay, no problem. I'll go. And pretty sure like every single time before that I'd been with a parent. Might have been 13. But like I went, nothing happened, right? Someone picks you up at the airport,
You do it
like
once
just
and that's it. It's easy,
yeah,
man. That's it. You just got to know where to take your bag and pick it up, man. It's
that's
not that
it.
hard, right? So,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
So okay, so you all get together.
all got
First,
together.
is it the first time the three of you have been in England?
We've all been to England together before, but it's the first time anywhere. It's just been the boys
The
without
three of
Bob,
you, right?
obviously, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this was the boys' trip, right?
The boys'
So
trip, okay.
and yeah, it was definitely. I definitely missed her a lot of times, man. Especially getting these guys ready and out of bed and all that shit, and trying to organize the day and feed them and all that nonsense, man. It's just, oh
Oh,
man, where's your mom? I need your mom.
you know what's
So
funny
you know,
is you ask your missus and you'd be like, "Did you miss us?" And I'm sure she's like, "Yeah,
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
guess, yeah."
tons, yeah. I was so happy to see you when I picked you up.
Calling you, no,
Yeah.
stay longer. What?
Yeah,
14
exactly. You
days?
sure you
That's
don't
not
want to
nearly
extend
enough
your
time.
ticket? Yeah. Yeah. I should have actually, instead of coming back and freaking sitting here lying on the floor for a week anyways, like an idiot. So good times, man. Good times.
Strap the TV up and be like, "I'm good. I'm good."
That's
All
it.
right.
That's all we
So
need.
the boys invade England. So you're there now. So tell
Yeah.
me about hitting. Well, how was your agenda? Like, what was the first thing you did? Was it the
Well,
game or the?
for first thing, actually, believe it or not, we did was we got one of the guys in the community whose name is Nick Barry Sean Ranchit, and the man of many names, and he's the guy from Shellside Spurs, and I jokingly call him Big Time, so you know who you are. And Big Time had invited us for dinner that Friday night. Jay had landed Friday morning, so we took it easy during the day, got him a little bit, used to everything, and then went there for dinner and met his family and everything like that. So that was just a family evening. Great guy, great family and everything. So that was really sweet of him. Came all the way up, picked us up, drove us all the way back and everything. You know, he didn't have to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
no,
many
that's
good
awesome.
people in this community, man. That's what's been the best part of getting into this, Robbie. It's been fantastic in that sense. But anyways, moving on there quickly before we sit here and bore the hell out of the handful of people that have tuned in. Welcome everybody. Good evening. And that's it. So basically, the real agenda started on Sunday. Everything started on game day, man. So it
Okay.
was basically, sorry, I just gotta say hi to this guy quickly here, man. I haven't seen this guy, but a few friends of ours are already in here saying hello and dropping likes already. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much, and much love to you. But Rob Patterson's in here, man. I haven't spoke to this guy in God knows how long, and saying things haven't been well, man, but big up, man. And I have not seen you in ages, brother. I haven't spoke to you in ages, so I'm really glad you're on here. And it's really nice to see you, man. Whatever you're going through, man, much love to you, man. I hope you can get through it. And I know you're a young guy, so just keep on fighting through, man. Positive thoughts and positive vibes going towards you, my man. So really, really good to see you in here, man. So yeah, sorry, Robbie. Like I said, had to say,
No,
and
that's good, man.
and
No,
his name's Rob
absolutely.
too, right? Like you. So got to give him some love, right?
Yeah, man. Give me the props. Give the name the props.
There you go. So everything basically started on Sunday. So my buddy Ben Kaufman, the coffee company guy, the one that
Yeah.
has a coffee show, and he'd come here last October, I believe it was, and spend a bit of time with us and everything. So really, really super guy. So he was kind enough to host a private function for Christian at his coffee shop. His shop is closed on Sundays, so he had I don't know, 15, 20 YouTubers showed up, all people that we've met through the community, drove an hour and a half, 2 hours away and stuff like that, just to come and see Christian cut a cake for him, man. And Ben got this wicked cake made up with our logo on it and Sunny on the field and everything. And happy birthday, Christian, aka Little K. And it was just, I'll show you, send you pictures of it. It was just absolutely amazing. But I'll put that stuff together and put a video out as well. So it's just too amazing
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to share with people because like I said, it makes you appreciate all the love in the community with people. So yeah, that's where the day started, man. Like I'm saying, 10:30 in the morning, this all kicked off at that place, and the game was until 4:30. So
Yeah.
people are here meeting up with us, 6 hours before kickoff and stuff. So it was absolutely insane that these people went and did that out of their own time and everything, and were kind enough to take the time out and come join us. So that was friggin' awesome of them. And yeah, that's it. So met every day, and then we went over to the stadium very early because, as you know, the guy that had arranged our tickets and everything, Paddy, he was coming over from Ireland, and the
Oh yeah,
boys
that's
didn't
right.
know
That's right.
that. It was a
Yeah, it was a
surprise,
surprise.
and he had
Yeah.
also arranged for us to get into the pre-game. There's a supporters club thing that was going on where the legends were walking around. There was Graham Roberts, Mickey Hazard, Ozzy Artias were walking around, so could have got a chance to get in there and meet them as well. So we had to go to the stadium for 12. So we left, get over to the stadium, see this thing, man. Dude, as soon as we drove around the corner and the car just came around that bend, it was just like, holy shit. Wow. Because
Massive, right?
it was so weird because it's not like other stadiums I've seen where, you see the stadium from like a mile away and you know it's right there kind of thing. We were just driving down a street and because we took an Uber from the coffee shop, and the guy turns, and all of a sudden he turns, and it's like, holy shit. Like, you really get right in front of it. On the way to the coffee shop, Nick, the guy that had taken us there, drove by and went by it as well for us. And again, like, just seeing it, it's just like, you just turn down the street random
Yeah.
out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
there it is, man. Absolutely insane, right? So Nippin's in here. Big up, buddy. Big up to you as well, man. And met Nippin on the trip as well. He was kind enough
All
to
right
join
on.
us
Big
for a
up.
dinner one night, man. That was really cool too. So a couple of the guys from Punjabi Spurs got together and were kind enough to throw a little get together for us, and we went for dinner and everything, and it was awesome. Sorry, 1 second here. What is it, dude?
That's awesome. I actually remember when I was in Germany one time and zipping down the Autobahn, and then I saw the Allianz Arena just off the side of the highway, and it went on like I just stared outside the window of the car like and just saw it. It's like it was awe-inspiring. It was incredible.
Oh, I
Sorry, I
don't
was
doubt
just
it, man.
saying like when I
No, it's
was
good though because he
yeah.
came in. The food's been delivered, and he's coming down to tell me it's here. Okay, eat it. I'm busy, dude. What do you want me to tell
What
you, man?
are
Hold on,
you
Rob. I'll
sure
be
you
back
need
in a minute. I'm gonna go eat, okay? You just carry. Talk to yourself for about 10 minutes, okay? You'll be completely fine. Rob's asking a question here, saying, "How far behind do you think we are compared to you?" So, good question.
The Spurs
Yeah,
team right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's difficult to say from an outside. I mean, I get a lot of flack sometimes about talking about Spurs in general, but I think it really depends um, if you're talking years. But I don't know what Spurs' plan is. Is kind of what you and I talk about, right? Is that you got Conte, you got this great manager, you guys killed it second half of last season, had a decent window. You would expect, you pipped us to fourth place, and you expect to kick on, but you didn't, and we did.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to see. And now it just seems Conte's not happy. The players don't look happy. Son's out of it. Injuries, yes, but also like the defense is leaky, and we're going to talk about that. So, what is the plan? Like, is the plan to just? It seems like it's toxic.
I
Get
hope
rid
you're
of
not asking
Conte,
me.
start again. In answer to Rob's question, I mean, I don't know if Arteta's thing is going to be the blueprint.
I think
That
Rob
everyone's
just
going to be
answered
like,
his own question here.
yeah, okay, fair, fair. Like I just don't know if it's a question of everyone's looking for a process, right? Like get a guy in and build from scratch. Conte's obviously not the guy that's going to go
He
get
doesn't do that.
young kids, and he's like, no, build me a super team and I'll win you stuff. Um, so I
I
don't
don't think
know.
he's
I don't
even
know if it's
asking for a super team because you're looking at Skriniar, 20 million right now
that's not.
to
Yeah,
save
that's a
him
deal.
going for free.
That's a
A
deal.
player of that caliber for that much, when you
That's a
look at
steal.
the financial numbers that have just come out and everything like that, and I think it was something ridiculous. And if I remember correctly, number one was PSG in terms of earnings, number two was United, and third was Spurs for match day earnings. For
Now,
match
does
day,
that
just
does
that
that
one day,
it's crazy.
and it's like what are these people losing all their money out to though?
Does that also include, because I also heard when I was looking up the stadium and stats and stuff, there always seems to be like boxing and NFL and concerts. Like WizKid was
Consistent
selling,
promotion. Yep.
like just and massive. They got to get a cut of that. They still haven't named
Oh, of
it,
course they do.
so they got to get like a
And there
massive
you go.
payout. But
Even
like,
the naming rights, even if they had a cheap ass deal with Pound Shop for 5 million a year, that's 15 million they would have put in the bank. So I just don't understand how that's not even done. Are we holding out for that much money that nobody's willing to pay it? It's insane. I
and
don't understand
considering
that part of it.
considering you guys were proof that if you had strengthened in January, if we had strengthened in January, sorry, like you guys did, situation may have been different, but you took Kulusevski and Bentoncourt and you ran
I think we got
second
lucky there, man.
second half of that season.
I think we got lucky.
I don't know. I know a lot of people would be like Arsenal bottled it, and I'm one of those people. I'd be like, yeah, man, we effed it because we were dead on our feet. But in answer to Rob's question, I mean, like, how long? I don't know. I don't know. That's sad.
If you,
Sad to
if,
think about. I'm sorry. It's sad to
yeah,
think about.
but how do you think we feel? You're saying that as an Arsenal fan. Imagine
Yeah.
how we as Spurs fans feel.
And to be fair, my
That's the
sympathy
sad
goes for
reality
you
of
and
it
your
too, right?
kids because I'm like, it would be
That's the only
terrible. But
reason you're sympathetic is the kids. I know it's
yeah,
not for me.
yeah.
I've known you long enough, man. Shit. Don't be pulling
So
that
okay.
crap just because
So
we're on
let's get
stream
back
trying to
to
play that
your.
nice guy bullshit. I know
Let's
what you're
go.
like. It's after
It's true.
17 minutes. We can fucking
It's
say
true.
this
I care
shit
more
now.
about your
Get
kids.
fucking
It's
real,
true.
man.
It's true. Yeah. I don't know who I'm trying to impress. Yeah, I don't give a shit about what you feel. But when you go to the stadium, right, and you're with the kids, um, what what was it like? Like, were they just jumping up and down, or were they just like, how are they feeling about it? Are they gassed? Is it just
Oh, dude. Where do I start? Where do I start? Because the first thing we did was this is where we screwed up actually. So we get to the stadium and obviously we go and hide so we can meet Paddy quickly. And he sneaks up behind us. So I'm taking a picture of the boys and he photo bombs the picture and everything. It's freaking awesome. And then the boys turn around, they see him, and it's just the Chris Little K just went absolutely bonkers when he
oh,
saw
that's
him.
awesome.
Yeah, he went nuts. And Paddy was there with his son, another friend, and his son as well. So it was awesome to meet them. And
And this is
the
his actual birthday, right? That Sunday was his actual
that
birthday,
was
right?
Christian's
Yeah.
birthday that day, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's what made it even more
That's
special.
amazing,
And
man. That's
the
amazing.
fact that this guy came over all the way from Ireland to meet him, like it was frigging awesome. And the whole trip, Robbie, I can't even begin to tell you how much love that the people, the guys from Tottenham away before we left, they shell out £700 on a dinner. All the guys got together and everything, and everybody came for this big dinner at this nice restaurant. And oh shit,
It's
you know
nice,
what I
man.
mean?
That's
Like
nice.
it was nuts. But yeah, back to the stadium part of it. First thing we do is we meet up Patty and everything. Then we go into the shop because I'm like, you know what, boys, we had about
Of
an
course.
hour to kill, 45 minutes before we had to go in for that Legends thing, right? Because it was still early. So I was like, okay, figure out what you go into the shop, take pictures. Jay had his phones, take pictures of what you want, so that when game finishes, we'll come down and you grab everything and we'll just go quick, right? And that way we don't have to carry all this stuff in around with us. So, anyways, you know me. I start chatting to some of the people in the store and everything like that and everything. So I was talking to this one guy, Desmond, good guy, and he's telling me, yeah, this is the adult stuff over here, and you'll get some good deals over here, and more of the stuff that you won't find anywhere else is kind of here, right? So,
Nice.
good boy helping me out, and so the boys take their pictures. They waste like an hour, and then we're leaving. It's like, okay, let's go up to the event now, and we'll come back after the game. Desmond sees us. And he's like, hey, boss. How you walking out empty-handed? You come all the way from Canada and you're not buying anything. I said, no, we're going to come back after the game, right?
He's
No,
like,
you're
don't do
not.
that.
No, he goes, no, you're not. Because the game closes as soon as the game kicks. The store closes as soon as the game kicks off. It's like, what? What do you mean? The store is going to close as soon as the game kicks off. And I don't know if it's because of the North London Derby or it's because it was a Sunday, so I was like, shit. So now back into the store, go grab all your shit, boys.
Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and these
it's
boys,
jammed, right? It's rammed.
yeah, it's no, it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
If anything, man, I'll tell you, it was a lot of Asian people buying a lot of Sunny stuff.
On stuff.
So
Yeah,
that's why,
for
like
sure.
what I said to you, there's a reason Sonny is not off the pitch because
Yeah.
he needs to
He
be on
bring
there
it-
because
yeah,
those people
he's a revenue
bring in
earner.
big time, man,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
He is a cash cow
I mean,
on his
that was going to
own.
get into something that we were going to talk about previously about where his future lies. But no, keep going, because I want to talk about this.
Yeah, we'll get into this for a sec, but Rob's just asking how long. I'm back, Rob. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm already back. I came back on the 21st, man. So yeah, so we get into the shop, grab everything, blah blah blah. By the time we get upstairs now into the event, we're late, obviously, and we missed the Legends by 5 minutes.
Oh no!
And I really,
Terrible.
really, out of all of them, I really wanted to see Mickey because he had been on the show with us.
Yeah,
And
I saw that
Christian
one.
was like, and Mickey, even when we I messaged him on Twitter and everything, we talked and everything, even after the show, saying, make sure when you come see me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that. But then, like, so much great things happened. I didn't want to let that take away from me, right?
Yeah. No, of course.
And the kids were still pumped up. They walked out of the store with 400 pounds worth of friggin' merchandise there. So yeah, now hearing that and saying that on screen now is probably just pissed off a lot of my buddies because they're like, you can't go in the store, you can't support Daniel Levy, and you can't support the regime, and you support the team. I'm like, dude, man, I ain't saying no on my kid on his birthday.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't care how
exactly.
pissed off you want to get with me,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
They come first. So unless your names are Jay or Christian,
you know what you do when they're older, you return it. When they're older, you return it. Get your money back.
That's when they can fly me over and buy me stuff. But yeah, so we just missed that, and then we were just there. And then as we were there, though, we hung out by the N17, and I think it was called Bar One or the Big Bar or something. I don't know. The longest bar in any European stadium or something like that. So it's massive. It just went end to end. And so there's a couple little food areas there and stuff. So the kids, of course, smell food, want food. So I'll grab them some grub and everything like that, and then grab a couple of drinks there. And then so many of the people from the YouTube community, because everybody messaged and said, okay, we're right here. And we kind of just made a location and planted our asses right there. And
of course, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, when I put this video together and I go flick through the little slideshow that's going to show you all the people we met, everybody that made the effort to come over and say hi, Christian was just bombing, man. He was beaming. He was glowing. That, oh my God, this person, this, because you met all these people online and everything, and you get familiar with them, you get to know them and everything, and then you come and you see them in person. It's like, oh, it was just absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. It was just fantastic. And then that's it. From there, in we went, man. And I'm telling you, when we walked in, I got the kids walking in front of me, and I'm behind it, and I'm making a video. And I'll tell you right now, the first thing all you hear is, and I remember the guy standing right there, the Stewart kind of guy, when you walk out. As soon as I walk out, Robbie, all you hear out of my mouth is, holy shit. and the man just starts laughing, right? And he goes, first time. And I'm like, yeah, man. And he just kind of like, just pats me on the shoulder kind of thing. And I was like, sweet, man. And I'm looking at this thing, and I was in awe. I was like, wow, what a magnificent structure. Honestly, it was. And then
good, right? I saw.
Then this happened. Then this happened. Then
the actual game.
Then the actual game. Well, we get into the game, shall we?
You did. I will say
it was great for the first 13 minutes. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, what were you going to say? I did tell you.
I was going to say you did tell me. You were like, man, I don't know. You said you guys are playing really, really well. I will tell you, just not to make it about me, but
you
every single time I've gone to go see an Arsenal game live, everyone has told me, why are you going? You're gonna lose. Why are you going to see that game? You're gonna lose, right? Arsenal, Chelsea just walked the league with your manager, and we're facing them in the FA Cup. Why? Like, you're gonna lose that game? Why are you gonna go see that game? Like, hey man, any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I go in, and time of my life, right? Man United at the Emirates. Why are you going to see that game? We just lost, I think, or tied to you guys, and Oba missed that penalty. Why? Why are you going to that game? Why are you going to that game? You're going to lose. Like, any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, we'll see. The day I arrived, we were in Europe, and we just lost 3-1 to Rennes in France. The day I arrived.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And everyone's like, yo, you came for the Arsenal game? What? Who? Man United on Saturday? And then you're playing Rennes again, 3-1 down? Have a good trip, man. Have a good trip. And I was like, all right, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose all
it's not gonna be a good night. Yeah.
Anyways, so you go.
But they worked
out. You were already true. You were
Yeah,
already a
I
little
was already
bit pessimistic.
pessimistic. You know that. I
Yeah,
already said
yeah,
that
yeah.
to you. The way your form was, the way our form was. And honestly, you could feel that though, because when I watched the videos back of what my friends had posted last year from the NLD and everything, the vibe outside the stadium, inside the stadium, it was electric.
It
And
was
there
like, we're gonna
was
win. We're gonna
it
get them.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was just like they went in
Because I
there
watched
and
that game and I was
there was
nervous, and I was like,
yeah.
they're gonna do us. They're
And
gonna
that's
do
why
us here.
everybody was saying, even the people around me that we were talking to in the seats and stuff, they were just saying that the vibe was completely different. Like a few of them would
Yeah,
come and they
yeah,
were like, that it was something else, and
yeah.
you could
How
just
the
tell kind of.
turntables have turned.
Um, actually, sorry, fuck off.
So you went. So you
But
went. Okay. So 13 minutes, right? I'm
13 minutes
sure
was great, yeah, and
little K's
then
watching it, and he's like, oh, "There's Son," and Big K's
oh,
watching it,
dude,
and he's
even our
like,
seats and
"There's
everything were
Dyer."
just it's like you look at the stadium and there's not a bad seat. It's like you're right on top of them kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal, really it is. And that was it, when they're coming out and stuff like that. The boys are just beaming, Christian sitting
of
beside
course.
me, Jay beside him, and they're just like the whole time, you know what I
Standing, the
mean?
national anthem, and
Oh yeah, no, they don't do the national anthem.
they don't do that anymore. Oh,
No, they don't. They didn't do the national anthem. No,
oh.
no, I don't remember standing for the national anthem. Not that I recall, honestly. Yeah, I think I remember that, but yeah, the players came out and everything like that, and of course they're booing the Arsenal players and cheering for the Tottenham players. So the noise in the stadium was just amazing. It really was, and the way the sound carries in there is phenomenal. Because even when we went on the stadium tour, like I told you, we had kind of left everybody. We just kind of trailed behind
Yeah,
and
yeah,
let
yeah.
everybody go ahead. So we were alone. So when we went into all the areas, we were pretty much alone everywhere, and it was awesome. And you saw the video, we uploaded it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
there's Christian, like
I
we're
thought
there and we're
the
yelling
locker
alone.
room with the vents to
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
the
the
air
air
to
and
acclimate
everything.
them. I was like, that's pretty. I didn't even think about
That's
that.
intense, yeah,
That's
and the
smart.
lighting to get their eyes
Yeah, get their
adjusted
eyes
to the
accustomed.
lighting and
Yeah,
everything that's outside. That's
spare
when
no
the guy
expense,
told us
right?
that, I was like, "That's crazy, man." And I was like, "Can I record you saying that?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Go for it." I'm like, "Can I put your ass on YouTube when when you say that?" And he's
And
like,
don't
"Go
forget.
for
And
it."
then I saw as you guys were moving forward, I can't remember if that was the tour or not, the Bill stuff. And then when I saw
Yeah,
you, I was like, "Yo, was that all NFL stuff?" I was like, "Oh my god, if they got the Bills." So for the community who doesn't know, Bob used to play NFL football or CFL football in high school, and his team was always the Buffalo Bills. And I
still is,
think they've
baby.
been there or are going to be there, right?
They're going
The
there.
Bills are
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
going
they're going
there.
there. I think they're playing Tennessee or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're going to be
he said
going
on
there
a
soon.
Sunday or
Yeah,
something like that.
always on a Sunday, baby.
Yeah. So I was
So
like, "Oh
that's
my god,
nuts.
that's
Yeah,
incredible."
it's growing over there. Like the passion behind the NFL is pretty intense, man.
But then when you saw the
I think they
helmet and you
sell
saw
out,
the
man.
jersey,
Oh, it was
and I
cool,
was
man.
like,
It
"Oh,
was cool.
yeah."
Yeah,
And
that's
you're
why
like,
that's the NFL locker room, right? So, but what's funny
yeah,
was because when we left, because when we did the home and away rooms, we left there, and Christian's like, "Where's the other dressing room?" I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's one dressing room. Is it, what do they share a dressing room and then split it or something? Like there's one big dressing room. So, but it was still, like I said, the whole stadium itself, the tour, everything. It was just, you see how amazing it is. And the areas you get to go into where the players get interviewed, where Conte does his interview, even the chairs where you sit down and you're pretending you're sitting there with Conte kind of thing, because we got that picture thing done too, right? So
yeah,
it was intense, man. It was really, really cool. But going back to the game, like I said, 14th minute, you see that bullshit goal go in, and the Lloris own goal, whatever you want to call it, and
bro, what?
it sucked the air out of the stadium, man.
We're
I'll
watching
tell
it
you.
on TV, and I see the line, and I see the ball go into the net, and I'm like, "What? Where did that come from?" I
Yeah,
honestly
where did
thought
it come from?
somehow
Yeah.
Saka chipped him somehow. I was like, "How's that possible?" Or it bounced off the defender. But like on the replay, I was like, "It's another howler. It's another howler by your guy."
Oh yeah,
Terrible,
yeah, and
terrible. He did it in
that
the
I
first
think
one.
it came up to like that. That was like the fourth one or something like that. So it was just.
He did it in the first one at the beginning of the season. He allowed Jesus to get on the end of
Oh,
that
there you
ball,
go.
and he
Yeah,
just.
that's right. Yeah. So what?
I don't know.
No,
I
he's
don't
playing
know.
for Arsenal now.
So
It's
then
it's
you guys did start to get back into it. I will say the Sessignon Ramsdale save. Like to
oh,
me,
Rob's covering for him here, saying he scored one own goal in 10 years. So fair play.
he looked poor. He looked
But
poor
that
though.
was a
Looked shaky.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's he's been so inconsistent though this season. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, his reign is coming to an end, and we need somebody capable back there.
Yeah, he's
But
been
we're
there a
not going to get
long
into all
time,
that
dude.
right now. we're already at the half hour mark, and we're on the second topic here. You want to
Yeah,
talk
sorry,
about
man.
so
So okay, so the save, you
so
guys
yeah,
get
that's
back
it. So
into
you
it a
see
little
that
bit.
go in, that takes the air out of the stadium, and your boys, I'll tell you, we were sitting right on top of the Arsenal fans, and it sucked because they were loud, man, and it pissed me off.
Did you see the
And
game
even
today?
even
We're gonna get into it.
Jay, yeah, Jay was just like he's grinding his teeth. He's just like, shut up, right? But it was yeah, when that happened though, but it didn't last too long. A few minutes, I would say 5-7 minutes tops, and then our fans started like trying to inspire the team and everything like that, like get them back into it and everything like that. And then we had that one last chance right before the half where Kane headed it and Ramsdale got down to it. So
Yes.
that was kind of a little bit of inspiration going into the half, and that kind of cheered everybody up, I guess. But
Kane
then we
and
come out
Son,
in
I
the
think, had
second
the two
half,
best chances in the first half, right?
but son, it's let's not even get
But
started.
that Sessegnon threw ball to Son, I
Oh,
think, and then Son
Cess,
kicked it.
and oh my God, don't
That
even
was
get me
good.
started with Cess. How poor he was defensively, and how many opportunities he had. That one ball where he got played the through ball, and he's just on the left foot. He's just got the outside corners available to him. It's Christian could score that goal all day long. I'd say 9 out of 10. He's potting those.
Yeah,
And
because he
you
shouldn't have started, right? It should have been Perisic, I
should
think,
have been
right?
Perisic, man. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
That's
That was
another
a
thing
weird
we can
call.
get into. We can get into why we're that's why there's certain players on the pitch and everything. Why Conte made the decisions he did and everything, and so don't worry about it, Rob. So it like I said, Luis had a bad game. The players just watching them live, Robbie. It's so different because that's one thing I didn't appreciate is the fact that they look unmotivated almost. It didn't seem like they had much push behind them, kind of thing, and that was a little bit
It seems like
disappointing
it's a
to see it
morale.
in
Like
real life.
morale is low, and I don't
I think it's because
like.
Conte's down. Like what we talked about before, you losing those three close people to him, has
Yeah,
really
yeah,
drained
that's
him, right?
true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we did talk about it as well, but there was also something. I mean, like he's gone at the end of the season, right? Most likely. I think
Yeah,
that's the rumor.
most likely.
If
Who
he
knows?
if he goes, but he wins you a cup, does he go down as a good manager? Would you consider him a good manager for Spurs?
With what he had to work with, how could you not?
Well, I'm
When
just
you,
asking, right?
I
Because
think most people right now are at the point. I would say a significant amount of our fan base is at the point where they feel that he hasn't been backed accordingly. So for him to go and win a cup when people feel that he hasn't been backed accordingly the way Poch wasn't, then you'd have to say, yeah, of course he has to go down. Not as one
would
of
he
the
hit like
greatest
a
managers ever,
legendary? He
but
wouldn't be
I
like,
don't think
yeah, okay,
legendary. But I think he would become a folk hero in some sense.
gotcha, okay,
I don't think he'd
that's
go
fair.
down and everybody would be pounding on the ground saying you need to build a statue of him right here, right now. But I do
I
think
agree he
that
hasn't
he
been
would.
backed, but to be fair, some of the players, I don't know if that can all be him coaching or if that were some of the players just seem down tools, man, and I don't know where it's coming from, right? Kane is still having a fantastic season, but
Big up
you
us.
know, Son has not been well.
No.
The defense has not been well. Lloris has not been well. Jed Spence, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Now you guys hijacked that loan move from um,
That's for you.
Everton, right?
Yeah. Oh, even that, man. Even that, people are already complaining about it and stuff. And I'm of the mindset, yeah, you might not be happy about getting a player because he's just, majority of us had to look up who the hell he was. That's not the kind of player you want to be bringing in when you're sitting here trying to say that you're going to be fighting for
But it's
top
just a
four and
loan,
going
right? Is it a
for
loan or
it's
is
a
it a?
loan, right? But
Gotcha.
even that, it's still you got to look at it. For me, me, Robbie, I try to find silver lining, and to me, okay, he's a squad player at best. At least it gives Conte an option off the bench, but it's not exactly the one we want. But at the end of the day, regardless of how we feel, the bottom line is he's a Spurs player. He's going to be putting on a Spurs kit. So if you're a Spurs fan, get behind the boy. That's
Yeah,
all we could do.
it's true.
You want to bitch and moan and cry about it, you go right the fuck ahead. But
That
it's
is
not
your
going to
right
change shit.
that he's your
He's
player.
not the
Yeah,
guy that's going to light it up. He's not the guy that made us all jump out of the seats and start texting everybody and saying, "Oh my God, look, we got him. Fuck you." You know what I mean? He's not that guy, but it's a body, and it's I don't know if it's just a body to appease the fans, appease Conte, to put something there. But I don't know if what it really means, but it's you don't know what's going to happen. This guy's at the point where he could be at a pivot point in his career at 25, so he could come in and fucking shoot off all guns blazing and come back the way Salah did to the league and just light it up and just make everybody go, oh shit. Where's this kid from? Or he could be Vincent Janssen, who is behind in the Dutch squad, and be even shittier, right? So,
you guys need. I mean, again, from the outside,
people feel like that about Cooley. Yeah, they did, and Bentancur, but I don't think they're as disappointed as they are with this guy, considering we need reinforcements and everybody's screaming for him. We've had a poor run of form. We're not playing that well, and we're getting players that are at best we would consider squad players, not ones that are going to challenge for even the starting spots, maybe. But there was a very good point made by somebody on a show earlier that I was watching that I think that we'd be all singing a different tune, Robbie, if Richie was potting the goals, if Basuma hit the ground running.
Those two, I don't know what, there was buzz, right? Obviously we were in for Basuma as well, but there's a lot of buzz around both those players. Like, hey, they're still not strengthening where they need to in the defense, but midfield's been addressed, right? So that at least is good with Basuma. And you got somebody to challenge for Son, because at the end of the season, Son was Golden Boot winner. You're thinking, hey man, he's gonna light it up.
Eventually, and I think that's all everybody's been hoping for, but it just hasn't happened, has it?
It has not happened. And Richarlison, he was a little, sucker, man. He was a sucker MC at that friggin' game. At the end of the game, that you got a fan coming in trying to kick a guy. He's trying to rile him up to be like, hey, fans aren't showing enough heart. I'm here showing heart, trying to get on Ramsdale's back. I was like, that's a dirty dude, man. He's a dirty player. But
that's what he does, though. But he's one of those guys, Robbie. If he's doing it for your team, then you love him. And if he's not on your team, you hate him, right? He's one of those, right? So he's that little shit disturber that you kind of need in your team, right? The way Saka is for you guys. Everybody hates Saka. Everybody hates that guy. But you guys love him because he's that shit disturber.
Do people, everyone hates Saka? I think a lot of people like Saka.
Yeah, a lot of people that are Arsenal fans.
And England fans. England fans love him. Don't lie. England fans love him. You would love him if you were on your team. Exactly. You would love him if you were on your team.
There you go. But while we've started to talk about Saka, let's get on to your team, shall we? Because we haven't been talking too much about them. So we had a game today, or you had a game today. What the fuck am I saying we for? Scratch that out. This is live. I don't know how to edit this shit, so fuck me. If anybody clips that. So you had a game today.
We did have a game today. So away at the Etihad, FA Cup. I think I rarely felt so appeased or calm after a 1-0 loss. Considering we were away at the Etihad, considering we made 5 or 6 changes, and City made 1.
And that's it.
Yeah, you do need center backs. But anyway, yeah, so
we
for us,
do need center backs.
I rarely go into a game or after a game after 1-0 loss and still have a lot of positives. Like if you watch the game, Arsenal fans were in full voice away at the Etihad.
Yes. Yeah,
we had to make a change at halftime. Partey for Sambi Lokonga. The drop off is incredible. And to be fair, we lost the midfield once we made that swap. Yeah. Holding had a torrid time with Holland, but once Holding got the yellow and was subbed off, Saliba, I think, handled him incredibly
very well. He was. I'll give it to him, man. Saliba, fuck me, man. That kid is something else, man.
For a guy
and the fact, like what Has just said, we need center backs.
Yeah, he's one we need to tie down to a very good contract. He needs a long-term contract. But anyway, so a lot of chances. We didn't finish our dinner. They were doubling up on Saka. He had a quiet game. Trossard, first start for Trossard. He benched Martinelli. Trossard's quick, man. Trossard's quick. I don't know if your fan base would know this, but he's got just as many shots with his left foot as he does with his right foot.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
So he likes tight spaces. He's got a turn of pace on him. It was a great option to have removing Trossard and then bringing on Martinelli, who I thought did bits second half. They squeezed in one lucky goal. That's the way I look at it. I mean, they were growing into the game.
That was a shocking goal, though, man. I was honestly when that ball, the way it curled for Ake and the way he curled it, a defender.
Yeah,
just it was almost no goalie saving that.
Yeah, it's true. And I thought Turner.
Exactly the goal that Cess missed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That guy that's a winger slash left
That's
wing
right.
back. So
So I will say, Turner, I thought did phenomenal in goal for a backup keeper. He did really, really well.
he was
Hats
solid.
off to him. But yeah, I mean, a lot of City fans that I talk to or that I see online were like, Arsenal are due for a humbling, or Arsenal need a loss, and we're going to give it to them. But I think, from what I understood, they were like, we're going to dominate you like we dominated Chelsea in the last game,
Okay.
4-0, and they just destroyed them.
Right.
And we weren't destroyed. We weren't. We went toe to toe with them. We lost to a one unlucky goal to their first team squad versus our B team squad,
Yeah.
right? And even their B team squad, I think, they're making these changes. We're like, okay, we'll take off holding for our first team players, but we started the game with a lot of our half team players or second team players.
B team, yeah.
B team, right? There's a drop off between Odegaard and Vieira. There's a drop off between Party and Lakanga. There's a drop off between Holding and Saliba. There's a drop off between, in my opinion, Ramsdale and Turner. But we did really, really well, all things considered. And I don't think the 15th is going to be the same game when we play them on February 15th. I don't think it's going to be the same game. I think our first versus their first, it's a game. It's game on.
Yeah. And if you guys got, when is Jesus back for you? Do you know?
I don't know. There's conflicting reports. It's like 4 weeks, maybe April, maybe like who knows? I have no idea. But El Neni's injured, Smith Rowe's injured. Little K, happy belated birthday, buddy.
He can't hear you.
He can't hear me.
Go ahead.
Happy birthday, buddy. Belated.
Thank you.
How was your trip?
It was really good.
You didn't get a haircut, I see.
I did actually.
That is after a haircut.
That is after a haircut. Bro, I hope you didn't pay too much for that haircut. You didn't get your money's worth.
I didn't pay too much. I didn't.
No, he didn't pay at all.
Yeah, no
He didn't pay
kidding.
nothing.
How'd
Didn't
you
cost him
enjoy
a penny.
that? How'd you enjoy the game, little K?
Wow.
He doesn't
all
want to
I
talk.
On that
have to
note-
say is, all I have to say is, booyah, bro.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that. He loves it. Yeah. So,
Oh,
anyways, I mean, I don't want to drag on about my team because I mean I love it and we're fantastic, but I don't fear them on the 15th. I think our first versus their first. Saliba, I think, showed Holland. And to be fair, they played their first team. John Stones got injured,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they've got any other long-term injuries, but he looked in a lot of pain with his hammy. So I don't think he's going to.
They got enough bench to replace
true.
pretty much every player. That's
It's
the
true,
thing.
but
That's one thing.
There's no
about them, man.
synergy. When you notice what I've seen with Pep, and a lot of City fans have said with Pep, he hasn't started with the same two center back pairings many times, if ever, in the league. It's always been two separate, maybe minus a few games, right? So you've got Laporte and Stones, Ake and Stones, Diaz and Stones, Laporte and Diaz. Akanjian did it like it's never Walker and this guy. It's never the same two. So they're not building up a synergy or like a partnership. But Pep's always chopping and changing. They just don't. That's why teams can get at them, right? Even though Holland's scoring 25, 30 goals, it'd be like, okay, but you're still leaking goals at the other end where you never used to.
Tough, Rob. Have a good night, buddy. But that's it's you know what though, Robbie. The thing is with City, you look at them and the way they've played all year. They've conceded quite a fair amount of goals. Even what was it? They had that shootout with Newcastle, right?
Newcastle the 3-3,
there's
Everton, Brentford.
they've let in a lot of goals. So and the way you guys are scoring goals, I think you're right to go in there with a little bit of a head up high and have some faith in yourselves and you might get a result. I hope you don't. I really hope you don't.
I'm well aware.
But yeah.
Hey, I'm rooting for your guys. I'm rooting for Spurs when City come to town. So hoping you can do us a favor finally. Maybe if you go 3 goals up.
Well,
and they score.
Let me look at the table in a few weeks, and then I'll let you know who I'm cheering for when you're playing. Okay.
Fair enough.
And if it helps us or not, right? So, anything else you want to address about your game there?
No, I think there's a lot of worry that Party went off at halftime. I think he felt something with his ribs, so they're gonna find out. But I think a deal's going to get done hopefully soon between us and Casado from Brighton. So
You think he's worth
that's
60 million
huge.
though?
No, no, he's not. He's worth 60 million to us right now at this moment in time.
Why?
Because if Party gets injured, we have no midfield.
Nothing.
No. El
It's
Neni's
that
gone
bad.
for
What,
probably
what's
this
what?
season.
But Smith Rowe can play in the middle, can't he?
Smith Rowe got injured again today.
He's out again.
He had a thigh injury, so precautionary, we let him sit. So El Neni's gone. Sambi can't cut it. Xhaka, Party are immense, but the drop off if one of them are gone or down. I will say with Xhaka, and was never his biggest fan. He's turned me quickly. His best ability is availability. Other than when he used to get stupid red cards, the guy's a brick house. He can't be moved. He won't get injured. Like, I don't want to ruin it. He had a knee injury a while ago, but since then, he's
Been
available,
reliable. Yeah.
reliable. He'll play left back when you need to. But where he is right now in Arteta's system is exactly where he needs to be. But something happens to Party, we can't play with
That's
Sambi. Sambi walked off. Sambi walked off today at the end of the game. Didn't even clap the fans. Just walked right
No
off
way.
the pitch. Yeah. So you'll see a lot of stuff about it online. He's going to get
some
roasted.
of these players, buddy. It's unbelievable, man. It really is. So we did have a show 2 weeks ago, our debut. And at the end of it, we decided to test our football knowledge or see if we had any at all, and combine to do some
We didn't.
some predictions. So we had some game predictions for what was it exactly, Robbie?
It was the FA Cup
The
games
FA
from
Cup games, the
January
last round,
7th or 9th. Yeah. Or 7th, between the 7th and the 9th.
7th and 9th, the last round, pretty much.
Yeah.
So take it away, buddy. You've got all the numbers in front of you.
Yeah, we're not good at this game.
No,
I'll tell you
this
right
is
now.
why we're not doing predictions.
So as a reminder to people, we only picked the a team with a Premier League team in it, those games. So it worked out to about 13 games. We didn't get one score correct. And
Not
out of those,
one?
No, not one score correct.
Neither of us.
No.
That's an accomplishment, though.
That we got none?
Yeah, that's something.
But we got 5
We
results.
did it together,
We just
babe.
said this team,
Well
it was
done.
just this team, not this team. We got 5 out of 13.
That's not
So
too bad.
solid D average. Just like high school. Just like high school. Okay, so
man.
Tottenham Portsmouth, we got that result right. I said 2-0, you said 2-0, they won 1-0,
Yeah.
right? Crystal Palace Southampton, we both went for a Palace win. I went 2-0, you went 3-0. Southampton won that 2-1.
Yeah.
Bournemouth Burnley.
Yeah.
We had Bournemouth to beat Burnley, both at a 1-0. Burnley beat them 4-2. Burnley's cooking with Vincent
Wow.
Kompany at the top, man.
Wow.
We had Blackpool versus Nottingham Forest. I went with a 2-0 Forest win. You went 1-0 Forest win. Blackpool beat them 4-1. We had Hull and Fulham.
Blackpool,
We
4-1.
went with Fulham. I went 3-0. You went 4-1. Fulham won 2-0. We had Brighton, Middlesbrough at Brighton. Yeah,
we're really
terrible.
bad
We're
at
terrible
this, man. We're not just bad. We're fucking horrible.
Yeah, horrible. Brighton won that 5-1. I went 2-1. You went 3-2. But I mean, that's a 6-goal thriller. I don't know. Okay, West Ham. We both went West Ham over Brentford 1-0. Or sorry, West Ham beat Brentford 1-0. We both went with 2-0 Brentford. Terrible.
Wow.
Sheffield Wednesday beat Newcastle 2-1. I went with 4-0 Newcastle. You went with 2-0 Newcastle. You're terrible at this. Liverpool Wolves, they drew 2-2. I said it was going to be 1-0 Liverpool. You said it was going to be 2-0 Liverpool. Yeah. Cardiff
so
Leeds.
bad.
I know, it's terrible. Cardiff Leeds was 2-2. I went 2-0 leads. You went 1-0 leads. Aston Villa over Stevenage. Stevenage beat Aston Villa 2-1. We both went with. I went with 2-0
Both
Villa.
went
You
with
went
Villa.
3-0 Villa.
I went 3
A lot
0
of
Villa.
upsets. A lot of upsets, man. Man City, Chelsea. We both went 2-0 City. They smoked them 4-0.
I spoke them 4-0, yeah.
And then Oxford, Arsenal. We both went 2-0. They won 3-0.
3-0 or 3-1, was it?
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah. So 5 just the
Holy
results.
shit.
And it was only like
We're
Arsenal are
not
gonna beat
1
Oxford
out
and
of
be like, okay,
13. So
Man
26
City are going to beat
prediction.
Chelsea. Okay.
0 for 26.
It was terrible. And can you imagine if we did all the games?
Wow.
Where it'd be like, I don't know, Wrexham versus Carlisle. It'd be like, I don't even know. Wrexham, because I like that show.
Paul's giving us some hope and support here in the loser's corner. He predicted
Ah.
top 4 for Nottingham, so we're doing fine. Oh,
You know,
man. Oh, for
crazy.
26, cuz. Holy
Not
shit.
good, dude. Yeah, we did not do well.
Oh, my God. What's going to happen when people realize we don't know anything about football? Oh, we're so
I hope no one's.
no more
Yeah,
predictions, I guess.
I hope
So
no one's putting
we've
any money on this.
no
Unless
kidding.
you're putting
Yeah,
on money,
don't listen to
I
us.
will bet that these guys will get all of these wrong.
Exactly. So
Like,
actually, you
that's
know
a
what?
good bet.
That's what I'm saying. That's the good thing about us being consistent at 0, because anybody watching, if they were to look at this and think about how they're going to gamble on the games,
Yeah.
would
We're
clearly
consistently
do
awful.
nothing that we're saying.
This
And
reminds me of The Simpsons, eh? The Simpsons, where Homer's got the gambling problem with the NFL, and he's like, "I announced my lock of the week, Buffalo over da da da," and he goes, "Oh my God, he's got the big lock. Put me down for 100." He goes, "And Buffalo are losing 14-0 in the first." He's like, "I don't know, I don't trust this guy anymore," and he goes, "Let's flip a coin." He goes, "If you're one
you
of
know
those
what? Maybe
gambling."
we might have done better if we flipped a coin.
Yeah. He goes, if you're one of those gambling addicts and I have to pick Denver. Oh, Denver. He's like, okay, Denver. Great.
Oh, Simpsons. Gotta love
Terrible.
Homer, baby. Gotta love
Terrible,
Homer.
man. Terrible.
How the hell did we do so bad?
There are a lot of upsets, right? Like nobody would have seen 2-2 Liverpool Wolves,
Or
right?
Villa.
Like that one came out of nowhere. The Stevenage Villa, that came out of nowhere. But Leeds had done okay. Fulham obviously had done well. You guys were, Crystal Palace had done well. Southampton were at the bottom. Blackpool over Forest, like that was a decimation. Like I don't know, maybe the B squads, I guess, but Forest have a decent B squad. They bought like 40 players. Like it's crazy. I don't know.
No, they bought more than that, didn't they?
No, it's about
Hey,
25.
they look like they're going for the backup keeper from PSG there, right? So Navas.
Yeah, Jesus Neves. They picked up Danilo, the DM we were looking at in the summer, which we should have grabbed. But anyways, yeah. I mean, he didn't look all that when they were playing. I think they were playing the Carabao Cup game or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, so
You
that's
ready?
it.
Are you
Predictions are
ready?
done. Let's move on.
There we
to
go.
our
Aaron's
next
in the
news
place,
segment.
man. My man, Aaron. How you doing, buddy? Goons out of the cup. Can they focus on the league title? He's asking you.
I think
This is
that's
my
all
buddy
we can
from
focus
Ireland,
on.
man.
Yeah, I think that's all we can ask for. All we can
Not
look
even
at.
Europa.
If it's up to me, I don't think we have the depth to fight on all fronts. But again, I don't think even with what Arteta put out today, I think he believes enough in this team. Like, hey, I can put that team out in a Europa League game, and they should be able to get a result.
When you're playing against Barcelona.
Well, we ain't playing Barcelona. Man City's playing, or Man United are playing Barcelona. But
I wonder who will
I
go through there actually, because United have been playing a lot better now. But Barca,
yeah,
man,
that's
holy
gonna be that's a
shit,
big
man.
one.
That team's insane.
Yeah.
So
And you guys have AC Milan coming up too. I mean,
yeah, but they're in the mud a little bit right now too,
yeah,
right? So they just got
there's not a
hammered
good
by
time to
Lazio, right? So
yeah, there's
it's
not
a good
a
no. This
bad
is a
time to
good
play
time
them.
so it's a good time for us to play them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are getting to the last part of the show here, Robbie, and it is something new that you wanted to put together here, and it's what would you do? And by all means, why don't you explain it?
Yeah, so we were talking about certain players from both of our teams, and obviously one of the most common topics is what would you do with him? What would you if you were coach? What do you do with this guy? Do you bench him? Do you sell him? You keep him? You play him into a rhythm? You know, obviously each one of us is trying to pretend to be a fantasy football manager. But I said, let's make it a part of the show, man. Let's ask, because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the exact same thing. What would you do with this guy? When you're looking at certain players on your team, what would you do with this guy? Would you keep him? Would you sell him? Would you bench him? Would you loan him? And that's the name of the show.
There you go. So it's time for What Would You Do? There you go, Robbie.
Big money, big
Let's
money,
get
big
into
money,
big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. You land on Lakanga. Sir, what would you like to do with him? Is he your starting star player? Is he a bench warmer, a squad player? Is he somebody that should be out on loan maybe to improve? Or is he somebody that should just, it's time to just call it a day and get rid of him?
It's a tough one, man. I think, you know, he hasn't built up enough credit in the bank. Concurrently, the games we lost today. I'm not saying it was completely his fault, but we lost the midfield in that second half. When we played United and there was no party, he didn't look great in that game. You know, we played him in Europe. He didn't look great. And each time I hear a lot of people saying, you know, he needs better players around him and he needs a consistency. You know, if we had given up on Eddie, who knows where we'd be right now, but we stuck with him. He obviously had a purpose. I think he needs a loan, me personally. I think he needs a loan. Loan is doing very well for Nuno Tavares in France. A loan is doing very well for Balogun in France as well. And a loan is doing very well for Charlie Patino as well. So if there's a chance that this guy could do something, I think we got to loan him out. But there's a caveat. We're so light in midfield. We can't loan him out right now for a body. I'll be honest. If Burnley make it into the Prem, I would consider loaning him out to Burnley to be under Vincent Kompany, because Vincent Kompany is the one who basically said, you know, kind of talked to Arteta and Edu, and we're like, hey man, this guy's the next Yaya Toure. I've seen him. He's the next guy. And so based on that recommendation,
you think he can improve?
He's got faith in him, right? And to be fair, if somebody told you he was the next, I'm not seeing it, right? I'm not seeing it. But maybe the sample size is too small because he doesn't get a run of games, because he's never going to overtake Partey, right? And if we get Caicedo, he's even further down the pecking order.
Right.
So I think next season he's got to get loaned out. But because we're still in Europe, because there might still be an issue, there's no guarantee that Caicedo's not going to get injured, or Partey's not going to get injured, or Xhaka's not going to get injured. You need a guy in the mid.
So you're saying even if you did get the deal done now for Caicedo, that you'd want to keep him around still, or loan him out at best when in the next season, not this season.
Next season, not this season. We're too short.
So come summer,
mid.
Basically.
Yeah,
bring in
100%.
Another body or two or whatever, and then
he's got to get a loan.
How old is he now?
I think he's 23.
Okay, so he's got some time.
Yeah,
a lot of time
young,
ahead of him, a lot of playing years ahead of him as well. So,
you know, when you look at Martinelli and you look at that profile, where you look at Eddie, where you look at Saka, it's not as young as you would think, right? So I think a loan is where it's at. I don't think anybody's going to come in for him for big money, but I think people would go in big money for Nuno Tavares. I think people would go in for big money for Balogun. People might already go in for big money for Charlie Patino. I think one of the things that Arsenal have been missing is getting some value for some of these players that we basically just said, like, we got nothing for Oba, we got nothing for Ozil, we got nothing for a bunch of these guys. Yeah, we got nothing for Ramsey because we're. But just
was that potentially a clear out though, just to make way for Arteta to have him build the project the way he wanted to, and they basically threw their hands up and said, "Fuck it, we'll clear the foundation for you if that's what needs to be done," because that's what a lot of our fans say we haven't done, and that's where the issues lie in our club. Because even like you were saying at the beginning of the show, this is what's become a bit of the problem: is our identity and where we're going. Right. Yeah. So is that what they did? And maybe that's why they did it. So fuck it, we'll just take the financial hit right now, which is something we're not going to do, I don't think, as a club, because we're financially sound and there's a reason for that. That's the way the club is run, right? So
yeah. Well, I don't think, keep in mind we haven't had Champions League revenue for a long time, right? So 2 8-place finishes and then a 5th. Like, we haven't had it in a long time. So realistically, a lot of our Deadwood players weren't going for a lot of money, right? And I think you guys might come face the same reality with some of your older players. It's just not happening. Now, if you get some of these investments, you might look at a Lukonga and be like, okay, he's not going to fit the profile for Arsenal. But if we loan him and he does really well in the Belgium league or in for Burnley or for somebody else, be like,
Anywhere,
somebody might splash some money for him,
yeah.
right? And that's the way you got to look at it. I think you got to look at these guys as an investment now, and he's an Arteta signing, right? So can't necessarily be, yeah, we were off the mark on this one. You were off the mark on Willian as well, and we got no money for that, right? We ended up losing money on that. But
to be fair, he was free in the first place, so
it's true. But still, like with his contract, and he got a 3-year deal at 30 years of age. I was like, what's going on?
yeah.
So there's still those incidences, and I think if you're going to look at Lukonga, like if he's not the right attitude or the right guy for Arteta, we're too short to let him go this season, and we're achieving something. So you need a body in there to do a job. But realistically, by next summer, regardless of what happens, presumably we're going to keep top 4. I'm not going to say we are going to win the league. It's looking tempting, but with him in the middle, it's going to be dicey, right? You can upgrade on him, right?
Fair enough.
So,
fair enough. There you go.
Now, over to you.
Over to me.
And I think the guy we wanted to talk about was Emerson Royale. What should you do, Bob?
Yeah, me personally on this one, again, I don't doubt that we're going to have some people when they see this and they'll completely disagree with me, but I'd sell him. To me, he's a sale. Right now, at his age, while he's got some book value on him, he's had a few good performances recently. He's looking a lot better. He's got market value. I don't think we'd get anything for Doherty, and I would much rather keep Doherty around as a squad player, especially if we're bringing Porro or another right wing back in this window. If we don't bring anybody in, then that's a whole different situation than we're talking about with Emerson. Then obviously you have to keep him. But as it stands, I would definitely say get rid of him because he just hasn't been reliable. He can't cross the ball. How much do you think you
could get for him?
Right now, with the market the way it is, Robbie, I honestly think we could possibly recoup what we paid for him. Get the.
What did you guys pay for him?
I think we paid for 25 or 30 for him. You know me, I'm not a numbers guy, but I think it was around the 25, 30 mark. So, if anything, maybe hawk off 5 of that, maybe 20 or 25 tops for him. Then, if we can get something out of it, but it's big up Bob Spurs in the house. No look sale for Emerson. He's referring to that no look pass Emerson did right out of bounds. Right, so that was fantastic. And then, even Aaron saying here, we got no resale value on a lot of these guys that we've picked up, and they're all going to be at losses. But do we do what you guys did and say, fuck it, clear it up, take the financial hit?
Yeah, we're already. Would your owners do that? Would Levy and those guys do that and be like, I don't take a loss on these guys?
No, I don't think so. Not a major loss, but it's coming down to almost a civil war, isn't it? Where it's like you've got to do something more on the pitch and everything, and the fans are not happy. The overall club, the whole atmosphere is really toxic and negative right now, and it's sad to see because at the end of the day, you love your football team and you just want to see them do well. But we're not only is the product on the field not there, but now people are screaming about the product all around and the way that it's been put together and how it's been wrong, and we don't have an agenda, and what you already talked about, that we don't have an idea, we don't have an identity, we don't have any kind of foundation for what we're going to be doing.
Your guys would never sell, would they? Like the way United, the Glazers are looking for new owners. Like your guys would never sell to like new Saudi owners or Arab.
I don't think we'd get Saudi owners because a lot of people in the community have spoken about this before. The fact that we have such a strong Jewish affiliation with our fan base, I think Arab owners would be a little bit hesitant to come in and try to take that fan base on, right? Because obviously the cultural and differences and everything, and the history and everything. There'd be issues, I don't doubt, from both sides of the table where the fan base wouldn't be too happy. A lot of it with them coming in. Some I don't doubt would be over the freaking moon, because I'll tell you right now, if the guys at Newcastle had bought us, I'd be fucking doing somersaults in the street. Yeah. Why couldn't you just drive down the street a few more hours and come over here instead? But it is what it is. I'd just be, if there was going to be an ownership change, for me, it would strictly have to be somebody that actually loves football. That's all I ask. You know, you guys have owners that are winners. This guy went and won the Super Bowl, and after that, you guys have it almost fired him right up, kind of thing, to say, "Fuck it, we're going all out." And the way he's backed Arteta and everything, that's showing, and the fact that he's still throwing money out. And you know, the Mudryk deal was almost done at 95 million. Holy shit!
Yeah.
And
Well, keep in mind,
Chelsea didn't
before he won
hijack that money, he was willing to spend that. That's
before Kroenke Sports Entertainment won the Super Bowl, he won the Stanley Cup with Colorado, right? So if he were to win, if we were to
that's
win,
right. He won that too. There you
the
go.
Premier League title, like this guy's the richest guy in sports entertainment or sports. But if he were to get the Premiership under his roster, it's never been done before. It's never been done before.
Yeah. What
So
a
I'm
feat.
not a big fan of these owners, but I see what you guys are going through. I'm like, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse because you guys.
Look at the way United fans speak about the Glazers and everything, and
Yeah, but
there's,
I don't understand.
and
that
look at
because they spend
Everton.
money.
Jesus, Robbie, look at
They spend
Everton.
money.
What's going
Dangerous
on
times at Everton. Who would want to take over Everton?
shit.
They're holding their owners in headlocks in the parking lot.
It's
And they're telling their owners and the board of directors, don't come to the game. Don't come to the game. We can't guarantee your
we
safety.
don't want you here.
Right? Like it's crazy. It's crazy out there, dude. So as far as I've had issues with the Cronkies, they finally sort of pulled their finger out and started doing some stuff. But look how low at what point, like some of the lowest points I've ever had as a football fan, just looking at what this ownership is doing to my club. And some summers where or some Januaries where I'm like,
Yeah, but they
all you
woke
need
up, Robbie, and you're looking at a
They
short
did
time
eventually.
frame where we're looking at a 21-year, 22-year time frame we're going into.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't
So
get it.
there's no comparison. Sorry on that end, because you guys had to suffer, I would say, 3 or 4 years where things started to slowly change, and then you suffered 2 years into the Arteta reign before all of a sudden.
Well, no more than that,
the
because near the
beaming light
end of the Wenger
started shining
reign,
from Arteta, and all of a sudden you can do no wrong, and the fan base is absolutely in love with him. Because I know, man, even you, I know, we're not too happy 4 years ago when we talked about Arteta being in charge of your club. So, and there was not, and many Arsenal fans calling for his head back then, and now they praise him.
I look back on some of those results,
right?
dude.
So.
Like there was a lot of results where I was like, anybody else would have been canned in this day and age. Anybody else, right? Yeah. But it's in Arsenal's ethos, it's in Arsenal's DNA to pick a manager, have a long-term manager, right? So we're trying to emulate the Pep, we're trying to emulate the Wenger, really, right? The Wenger years with Arteta, and he loves the club. Like
that's the thing. He's got an affiliation
connection
with the club.
between
He's connected,
the club
right?
and the fans and Arteta and the team. It's better than it's ever been. And you'll talk to any Arsenal fan and they'll say that the camaraderie and the feeling. You know, I know you had Lee Judges on. I saw one of his fan cams after the game. He goes, I felt like I was at that game. I contributed to the team winning. We were in it together. And that stuff, you're like, man, that stuff that as a football fan, you live and die and breathe for, right? Like you're there with the club through thick and thin. Even today, like you can watch it on.
And that's but that's where our fan base is disjointed here, Robbie, on our side, because this is what they're upset about. That passion is gone. There's fans that have been coming and loving this team for decades, and now they come there and they feel it's just a big commercial entity.
I feel it.
They just take their money, and there's no joy, there's no passion.
I feel it from your fans. I feel it from people that I know,
sad,
like you who are Spurs fans. I do, absolutely. It's sad.
That's why I feel,
as an Arsenal
fan,
I'm like,
too, you know, it's
yeah. It's
what
tough.
do you do, buddy? What do you do? But we are at that point. We did end up with our shoulder, a little wrap up there with what would you do. So hopefully you guys appreciated that and all the other shit that we were talking tonight. So we will be back next Friday evening at a normal time, which is 4 p.m. our time here in outside of Toronto Eastern time, 9 p.m. for you folks in the UK. So we won't keep you up too late next time because it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning over there now, man. So it is bedtime. But folks, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.
Thank you,
Robbie.
Good seeing you, man. Welcome back home.
Cheers, guys. Good to see you, man. See you next week.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.